Hello, English 115. I hope you guys are having a great week. Welcome to our final video of the semester. This video is going to be sharing with you the checklist for your final paper. So let's get started. Okay. So just like your checklist for your third paper, this is our checklist for our fourth paper. So let's go through the agenda. We are going to review the requirements. We're going to talk about the introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion, as well as in-text citations and your annotated bibliography. So none of this should be new news to you at this point in the semester or at this point in the unit. And if it is, please take a second and go back and watch the other videos. They're about 20 minutes in length, and they go into each of these in more depth than this video today. This video is just an overview and should serve as a checklist of everything that you've been doing. So the paper focus is a student-selected research paper topic, which means you all selected your own research topic, which is super cool. I love that part of this assignment. I think that this is just a great way to the end of the semester. So you have decided on your research topic, you came up with your research question, you posted these on our discussions on Canvas, then you created your research outline and also posted these on Canvas discussions. And so this is your research paper topic, question, and outline. So good for you guys. Now the paper 4 requirements, this is a 5-page paper minimum. So that means 5 full pages. Now, I know you can do this. You've been doing a great job. Remember, we've been working up from 3 pages to 4 pages. And now we're at our 5-page requirement. This is also a 7-paragraph essay, which means it is an introduction, 4 body paragraphs, a 5th body paragraph, which is your counter argument, and a conclusion. So 7 paragraphs. It should not be less than 7, and it should not be more than 7. Now double check it, because some of us, we tend to write with a lot more paragraphs than is actually asked for, and that can lead to some confusion with organization. So please make sure at the end of your writing, when you're ready to turn this in, that is 7 paragraphs. And you also have 2 examples per body paragraph. Please include a transition within your body paragraph so that I know when one example starts and one example ends, okay? Please use a transition. You should have at least 5 sources. You should include this in in-text citations as well as your annotated bibliography. And I see that it says not included in 4-page requirement, but I'm going to fix that to 5-page requirement. There we go. And your due date is Thursday, May 21st. Now, unfortunately, I cannot accept late papers this time, since this is the end of the semester. So you may turn this in to me earlier, but Thursday, May 21st at midnight is our final deadline, okay? So you can do this. I believe in you. We've been working on this for a long time at this point, so you can do this. Now, let's talk about our introduction paragraphs. At this point, your introduction paragraphs have been looking really great. You have a hook. Now we should remember your background information and your thesis. Now, your introduction paragraph should probably be at least around 3/4 of the page, okay? We don't really need it to go any longer, but it should be about that length. Now, for your background information, we really want to be thorough in explaining your topic. So you're going to explain to me as if you think I have never heard about your topic before. So you're going to include background information. You're going to define key terms for me. So you're really explaining this, from the start. If you're talking about video games, if you're talking about immigration, if you're talking about community colleges, you are assuming that I have no background knowledge. Sorry about this. My dogs are being a little crazy right now. So give me all information as you can, and I am going to close the door. Okay. Now, for your thesis statement, it's a general statement that does not need to include all of your supporting points. If you would like it to, because you feel more comfortable, that's totally fine, but your thesis statement can just be a generalized answer to your essay question. So if your essay question is focusing on video games and identity, your thesis statement can be something like, video games have been proven to enhance, change, and alter the identity of its users, or something like that. Like very straight to the point, okay? It just can be direct. It doesn't need to list all of your ideas from your main, from your body paragraphs, all right? So this is an example of your introduction paragraph. This is the same example I provided to you a few weeks ago. So if you need to, pause the video and read through this. I'm not going to read through this since I've already done that. So again, pause the video, read through this. This is a solid looking introduction paragraph, okay? All right, so hopefully you paused the video, you read through, you saw the hook was a quote, you saw this background information, and you saw the direct and generalized statement for the thesis statement. Now your body paragraphs start with a topic sentence. Please remember that your topic sentence answers the essay question. So you have to make your supporting point clear in your topic sentence, okay? So I should be able to read your topic sentence and know, all right, this person is talking about video games and identity in relation to avatars, okay? Because that's immediately what this person has stated in their topic sentence. Then your examples in this paper are going to be lengthy. So that means you're going to do a lot of explanation here. Remember, this is a 5-page paper, so our body paragraphs should be probably about half a page to 3/4 of a page, which means each example and explanation needs to be long. And the best way to do that is to provide kind of a generalized example and then give a lot of details in your explanation. Again, please don't forget to include that transition. Now, you can see I have a transition here and a transition here. Now, please don't forget to include that. And finally, for your body paragraphs, please remember your concluding sentence. Each part of your body paragraph is worth 3 points. And so if you forget your concluding sentences, we have 5 body paragraphs. So that's 15 points off of your paper already. Please don't forget your concluding sentences. Remember, there's no new information. You just sum up the entire paragraph in your last sentence. Now, also in your body paragraphs, you should include in-text citations, okay? Please, please, please do this. You can do these parenthetically or direct quotes, and we're going to talk about this in a second. Here's an here's an example of a body paragraph. You can see we have a topic sentence. Childbirth can be a long and intense experience, da 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 da. One effect is baby blues. So we can clearly see that the topic of this paragraph is baby blues. We have example. Now we have a really in-depth explanation. We have another example, another in-depth explanation, and then we have a concluding sentence. So pause this video and take a second to read through this. Again, this is the example I've given you before, so I'm not going to read through it myself, but just take a look and see how it's structured and make sure you are structuring your body paragraphs the exact same way. Now your concluding paragraph, we restate our thesis, so it can just be a generalized statement. Now you would either, let's say, generalized statement or include your 5 points. Now, again, this doesn't need to be a statement to include all supporting points. A generalized statement is fine. A lot of us are still struggling with our summarization. This is where we sum up each body paragraph in a separate sentence, okay? So this is not a generalized like, hey, I'm just going to talk about whatever I want to at this point. There's no new information here, okay? So no new information. And then your final thought, leave the reader thinking it's similar to a hook, okay? It's similar to a hook. Did I spell that wrong? No. Okay. So your concluding paragraphs are actually looking pretty good in general, you guys. Just let's not forget about the summarization part. And here's an example of a concluding paragraph. We have our restatement of our thesis here, which is in green. We have our summarization, which is blue. Can you see how lengthy this is? This talks about each topic, okay, each topic. And then here is our final thought. which is in red. And your final thought can be more than one sentence if you want it to be. It's kind of like a call to action, okay? So your final thought is really where you get to say, hey, this is why this is important, or this is why people should know about this. Okay, so for our in-text citations, we need at least 5 sources. So these can be parenthetical, which means that you have put this in your own words. Now, a lot of us have added the year that something has been published, but actually for MLA formatting for this, we are only adding the page numbers if we need to. Otherwise, just put the author's last name or the title of the article. For a direct quote, remember that we don't put periods in quotes, we put commas, okay? And we also need to make sure that we have a verb here before the author's last name. So quote, comma, quote, verb like stated or mentioned or found, and then the author's last name, and then the period actually comes at the end of the author's last name to show that this is one sentence, okay? And you do need one primary source. So if that's from an interview or a questionnaire or a survey, and I talked a lot about this in last week's video about, you know, how do we quote this? How do we put this in our annotated bibliography? And a few of you guys have had some great questions concerning that. If you're still confused about this, please let me know and I can help you out. But again, this is us doing our own research, which should be pretty awesome, right? You get to ask your friends or your family members and then include the data that you find in your own paper. Now, this is what an annotated bibliography should look like. We should have at least 5 citations. So we have the citation up here, we have the source up here, and then we have the summary of the source, okay? So we can see that this is indented with the exception of the first line. A lot of us had a little bit of confusion last paper and we indented the first line and then did not indent the rest. And actually it's the opposite. And you can see the title says annotated bibliography. It's not bolded, it's not in all caps, it's not underlined. Everything is Times New Roman, size 12, everything is double spaced, okay? So there's not any extra spaces in between our summaries and our next source. So please remember this. And finally, don't give up. You can do this. I know this is what I said at the end of my last checklist video, but you are here. You're done. You're doing it. This is your last paper. Now take a look at your grade on Canvas and decide, what do I want my grade to be? Our last paper is worth 20% of our final grade, and our annotated bibliography is worth 10. So it's really important that we finish this semester strong. We have some time before your paper is due. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I've jumped on some Zoom calls with a few of you guys already. I've been emailing back and forth with some other of your classmates, and I promise that this is the way to do it if you have any questions. Don't leave it until Wednesday night and, you know, have a little bit of a hard time being stressed out. Reach out to me earlier than that. I'm here to help you. I want you to succeed. We're almost done. This is the final push, so you can do it. Okay, so thank you guys so much for being here, and give yourselves a big thank you for all that you have done this semester. It's been, you know, a lot of work, so congratulations, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, thank you.